Astronomy stimulates me in a scientific way. It's not only the beauty of the stars, it's the knowledge that you're looking at something that happened millions of billions of years ago.
Everything, when you look at it for the first time with your own eye, is interesting. I can remember as a kid being on the flat roof of my dad's garage with an old surveying instrument, probably only magnified about 10 times, and in my ignorance I thought, oh, that must be Venus up there, and I lugged this thing up and looked through, and it wasn't, it was Jupiter. And there was Jupiter with its moon strung out beside it, and I felt as though I'd discovered it, not Galileo, me. It was that thrill.
I joined 3 years ago. I came to the Society as just a guest to do a public open night, and I found it so enjoyable I joined straight off.
I think I joined Society about 5 years ago, and I think I've been on the committee for 3 years. I'd always been interested in space, and I had read and learnt as much as I think I could really learn in books, but decided that I still wanted to know more and more and to see things for myself. So I wanted to join before I did, but being a girl, quite scared at coming along, so I didn't really sort of come when I initially first wanted to, but decided to make take the plunge and give it a go, and haven't really looked back.
Norwich Astronomical Society is one of the most friendly, sociable societies I've ever had the pleasure to be involved with. Some astronomical societies especially are very, very insular, into observing all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it attracts a certain type of person. Norwich Astro has very, very serious astronomers. It also goes all the way to people who never ever look at the sky. It attracts kids, it attracts older people, it attracts mothers and fathers and anybody you can think of, because everybody is allowed to join in at their level. It's fantastic.
Yeah, this is a very good society. Patrick Moore says, one of the best, one of the top 3 in Britain.
I like the society. There's a good social side to it, because there's a bit of, there's a good bit of banter and friendship with everybody. It's kind of like a big family to a lot of the regulars, really. And as I say, there's so many different types of people that you wouldn't normally mix with in your everyday life, but you are brought together by this common interest.
The Stargazing Live event is put on by the BBC to support their programmes, which they started last year, and our previous chairman is one of the presenters on that programme. And last year, for the first programme, we got involved with the filming of it a little bit, and we put on an event for it here. This year we were prepared a bit more because we had so many people last year. We had over 300 down over the weekend. This year we were better prepared for it, and we did a bit more advertising, we did a bit more work with the BBC. But it's basically a public outreach to try and get people to look through a telescope for the first time, or find where they can learn more and that sort of thing.
This particular society I found to be very friendly in terms of its social interactions, as well as having very knowledgeable people as members of the Society, and we greatly enjoy the talks that are put on in the winter for us and for members of the public. But it is also a very nice social gathering.
What gets me most excited about astronomy is probably naked eye astronomy. That's looking at the sky without binoculars or a telescope. I love being under a canopy of stars. I just feel so warm and comfortable. It's like wrapping yourself in a quilt. To look up at the night sky and see planets, constellations that are familiar to you, phenomena, comets, meteor showers, it's just breathtaking.
What I like most about astronomy, I think, is the brilliance of the night sky when we can see it to advantage on a clear night. I'm not really one for too much technical jargon and so on, but I just love the wonderful sights that are visible on a good night.
Well, my views on life outside the solar system, I believe there is probably the chances of life out there has got to be good, because there's an infinite number of planets out there. So out of some of those, there's got to be life out there. Whether we'll ever come across it is another thing.
I don't think people appreciate the vast distances. There are galaxies out there that you can see quite easily, but when you're looking at them, if there's somebody on a planet in one of those galaxies looking back at us, they will perhaps see dinosaurs.
I would be very surprised if life didn't exist elsewhere in the universe. Not bipedal life necessarily, not humanoid, not the classic greys, but there will be life at least at a bacterial level. There are 200 billion stars in our galaxy, and probably 100 billion galaxies. So chances are it's happened somewhere. We're not unique.
I view people who have seen extraterrestrials and claim to have been abducted by them as very interesting people. They often are clearly sincere in what they have seen or experienced. I think they may have attributed the phenomenon to something else.
I think it's probably not naivety, but not knowing what they've actually seen sometimes. I don't know about the abductions, maybe attention seeking is the only thing I could think of that would classify that, or something unexpected.
I haven't seen anything myself, but I know people who look, and I don't think they're strange or anything because of it. It's what they believe in. So definitely watch this space.
I think almost certainly there is some form of life out there. If you look at Earth, life is so prevalent on Earth, even the most inhospitable places, there is some form of life.
I think that one has to consider the enormous number of suns and planets and bodies out there and look at the possible numeric possibilities that there are going to be some civilizations even.
Some people believe the fact that it developed here on Earth could have just been a fluke, that it happened at the right time, the right place, and although conditions might be right on another planet, it might not happen. I rather hope it has.